Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. In the last episode, we faced off against the solid might of the Spark Hunter known as Bedrock, a wrestling powerhouse with a one-track mind, to absolutely decimate her targets on sight. Although with the help of our new ally, the mighty King Bowser, we were able to turn the tides quite quickly, using his Bowzooka to completely blow Bedrock sky high, while also saving Pellet Prime in one fell swoop. The only thing is, now with two Spark Hunters down, Midnight and Bedrock, who is the mysterious plant-like Spark Hunter creature we saw for a brief moment in the last episode? Only one way to truly find out, and that is to keep pushing forward in our mission to stop Cursa's reign once and for all. But, yeah, definitely with the, small, idea of just seeing that creature, it definitely does not bode well for us. But the thing is it was running from us, which is a good thing. But today's episode, we're finally going to be dealing with Tiny Dancer, I think. Just because of the fact that we are definitely we're one spark over. But we're definitely ready. So here we go, Tiny Dancer. Defeat the giant squashettes. And honestly, with the last one that we did with the Goomba, we're actually on the right level this time. We were 2 levels under the Goomba last time, but we're right on the ability to be able to fight the Squashette here. But so far, honestly, not too scared about this enemy, to be honest. Just based on the fact that, well, we faced off with Squashette before, and we didn't really have much of a problem with them, but a giant one definitely seems like it's going to be a little bit harder for sure. Just based on the fact that we're not going to be able to dash into it. For sure. Based on the fact that, well, let's be honest here, we weren't able to dash into the giant Wild Claw. We weren't able to dash into the giant Goomba. And, let's be honest here, this thing looks way too big to dash in. If we were to dash into it, yeah, I don't think it would be too good. But here we go, the giant Squashette leaps high into the air, landing near as many opponents as possible to inflict a giant gust attack that sends them flying backwards. Cannot be dashed, and is resistant to pretty much everything. So it's good that we have, a lot of things that aren't based off of us needing to use any kind of status boost against it, which is good. But it has 12,600 HP, so yeah. And also 920 damage as well, that's kind of terrifying. Definitely for sure, we need to be careful. But for the most part, as long as we do things right, we should be good. The only thing is what do we need to do to defeat this thing is the real question. I'm gonna say definitely we need to probably swap up our team just a slight bit. And I'm thinking Luigi is definitely one of those things that we need to bring. Just because Luigi is literally built to be able to deal with bosses. Based on the fact that he does a lot of damage, as long as you do it right. Only thing is what else should we bring? I'm thinking anything that isn't status-based, we should bring in to the fray. Because you never honestly know. Only thing is for the most part, most of these enemies aren't going to be wanting to really get close to us. We could maybe bring... That could be an option. We could bring Glitter in. But I'm going to say we probably bring in our Wild Claw Master, I think, that we got in the last one. Because the thing is we could spawn in Wild Claws. We have Deep Freezes on map. So, it may actually be pretty good. Other than that, I don't think we're really going to need a healer this time, because we do have Regenesis, and we also have, the Vamp Dash for Edge. So we should be pretty fine, and, for the most part, Luigi's going to be, sticking away from combat as much as possible. So, I'm going to hope this ends up working the way it does. But let's probably put that like that. And honestly... probably best to just give a Star Potion now, just to make sure we're level 4, because the extra damage there could actually be life and death, but we also decrease our physical damage that we take, so we should be pretty good here for Luigi and everyone else. So, honestly, let's see how this goes, because this Tiny Dancer is probably going to be pretty dangerous, based off of our previous encounters with enemies. I think first things first is figuring out range of you. Not very far. Although you do run... Actually, no, you run far, actually. Wait a minute. Oh. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're basically on top of us. Okay, then. Well, it looks like it's gonna run down and then jump, is what I'm seeing. But the thing is those things like to bounce after moving. So I guess it's kind of an iffy situation when it comes to that one. It really depends on what's really going on there. But I say we definitely set up turbocharge. So Bowser, get on to doing that, buddy. Because I'm going to be honest, you're probably going to definitely need to do that. I'm going to say what we can do as an option. I say we set up the Wild Claw now. So let's see here. It's going to give it 1,580 HP as well as 1,270 damage. So, or not 200, 1,027. Well, actually, wait a minute. It's a deep freeze instead. Oh no, it just looks like, what the heck? That's weird. It's a weird enemy. Huh. So, interesting. You kind of remind me of a deep freeze now, with the coloring that it gets. So, our versions are blue. Huh. Well, the reason why I think that's a good idea is because now maybe the Squashette will end up going for a different target. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. That's really my best bet here. Also, we do less damage from there, do we? Yeah, looks like maybe. Nope, same damage. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were doing the right damage. Because you never know sometimes. And if we can get the Squashette to go down on the bottom half of the map, we might be able to always get crits in. We got 1,800 crit there, though. So that's not too bad. Only thing is now we need to figure out what we want to do here to make this work. I think getting everyone away from each other is probably a first bet, to be fair. But I say definitely set up Vamp Dash. We need to get the deep freezes off map. But I think they're currently going to be preoccupied. Although I don't think we're going to make it to that enemy. So there we go, perfect. I was a little worried there because I felt like we weren't going to be able to get where we needed to be. But we can turn invisible because we got our point back. But I think we should dash like so. So we can get out of range. Although that guy's... Oh wait, he can't be frostbitten. Interesting. Really? Okay then. I'm very surprised about that one. Just because I thought that would happen, but apparently not. Interesting. Very, very interesting, in fact, actually. Other than that, I'm gonna say maybe Bowser can sit back for a second. No, can't do it like that. I was hoping I could, but I want to get rid of those lone wolves, though. That's my current idea. But we can also do a little bit of damage to you as well. Because these enemies are quite far away at the moment. But the thing is I really, really, really want to start doing some damage to those guys. Because those lone wolves will be a little bit of a problem if we let them. But I think what we can do, per se, is obviously get a little bit closer like so. And maybe, just maybe, we could do our stomp and completely decimate their HP from over here. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all, actually. Okay, we can work with that. Then, honestly, I'm going to say probably... Well, I can't get a good range on that. But that doesn't mean that we can't do that as well. Because we might be able to reposition ourselves like here, and then we hit both of them. Which is probably a good idea. So let's definitely go for that while we're here. And then I think we definitely turn ethereal, I think. Just to be invisible. Or... we do have the option of POW blocking, but we're right next to the enemy. So let's unseen first. We might get a spark point back. Which we did. Okay, perfect. That's very good. Okay, I really like that. And then we definitely get rid of you. So, POW block both of you. Both of them are done. So now we don't need to worry about them now. Perfect. I kind of like the idea of going straight for you, but I also like the idea of bringing up these Rabbid Mecha Koopas as well. Which I might actually do. You know what? We're doing it. I think that's probably a good idea. Try and get as much as we possibly can on the field now. As soon as this guy starts moving, well, 41 damage isn't too bad. And also, quick damage in now is honestly not too bad either. I was more wanting these guys to kind of sit back and, like, kind of, you know, basically take the turn of the Squashette and kind of save us a little bit of, like, give us a little bit of a safety time. But that might not be too bad, because I think the Wild Claw... Yep, it's going for the Wild Claw. But it's not going to bounce on top of us, though. Which is interesting. Like it would look like it was going to do before. Can I... Okay, I can technically walk through you, but you're kind of in the way at the same time. Okay, then. Well, I definitely say what we do here. Well, we don't have much we can do, but we can definitely set up Stormblade now. Because when we dash into an enemy, we get the Stormblade bonus. So, you know what? Might as well go for it, right? But let's definitely jump down here, I think, and start dealing with these enemies. I think the one closest to us is the smartest one, so definitely get that in. Not bad. Obviously go for multi-dashes on these guys, because we don't want to give them any kind of freebies. Other than that, for the most part, I think probably just going back to where we started may be a good idea, just because we can easily go for a little bit of a hit on both these two, which is not bad. Maybe get a crit here too. Got a couple crits actually, not bad. Decent amount of damage in. Bowser doesn't need to heal yet. For the most part, we could technically go Screech here, which is an option. But I need to make sure we're doing good damage to you. So, what we should do... I wonder, if we go back here, do we do max damage? No, you're kind of just in it. But we do crit you because you're 100% down there. So that's still pretty good. Only thing is I need the bonus to make this really, really work. But sadly, because she's technically still too close to me, it doesn't really work in the way that I want it to. That's only 820 damage, though, from both of these angles. So it's not the best we can get, but it's still something. It still should be a crit, so it should be 1,000. Yeah, 1,200. So it's not too bad, although it could be better, I think. Then Bowser. Honestly, I think just blasting at her would be a good idea. But we can go for a POW block first, just because we have another movement still, so I think we definitely want to probably go for that. So let's make sure we drop that on top of her. Actually, probably should have did a movement there first, actually, now that I see it. Because we did attack. I'm going to do a move boost here, just because I might actually be able to use that a little bit. And hopefully, well, I can't get them next to each other to be able to do my slam ability. But I do have the ability to move Luigi a little bit closer, because at his current range he probably does want to move here in a second, to be fair. But that's not too bad. And I think we definitely blast at you. And it looks like 355 damage is going to be the max there. But not bad. Not a bad turn there. We did a decent amount of HP already to this thing. We're definitely getting hit with the little bit of a blast from both of those guys. Thankfully, not too bad. And we might be able to get our cooldown soon. Ooh, Bowser got flung. Jeez. Okay, then. And it was good that I moved Luigi, because Luigi definitely needs to move now. So good there. That's actually really, really good that we were able to prep for that early. Although, what I see here is what we definitely need to do is have Luigi probably move like right about there to get the best movement we currently can get with Bowser here. Because I want to make sure that we hit every single thing here. And apparently that did not count on you. I do not know why. That seems odd. Okay then. Well, I'm dashing into you. There's no way I'm not doing that one. Burn. Probably burn here would be a good idea. I'll be honest there. So let's spawn the Mecha Koopas here. And actually I should spawn it right in the middle of them, I think. Because this might force them to run away from us. Because as long as it hits them, they'll run because of the burn. So they should stay pretty far, well, really? Of course you had to run directly on top of Luigi. Really? Well, that's not good. Well, you're in range of Screech. You know what? Go Steely Stare, I think. I think this is obviously the only option right now. So, Luigi, you want a safety zone? This is probably the best you're gonna get, buddy. I'm gonna be honest here. So, hopefully this works, because if she runs away, well, you're going for the deep freeze 100%, but you do have blasts with that thing anyways. So it's not too bad, although you're only going for the deep freeze. Not really liking that. But at least it's gone, I guess. I could have easily got rid of that enemy by myself, though, to be fair. So, not the best thing. Well, best thing here is probably helping Edge get into a better position. I think our best current idea here is maybe getting rid of that portal because of our current positioning. Just because that thing's going to definitely spawn something here in a second. So hopefully we can make use of this and maybe, just maybe, get rid of this before this spawns. Because at the current moment, I do not like what is deciding to maybe spawn out of that thing. Because it could be bad, could be good, it really depends. But this thing needs to go down before anything bad does end up deciding to come out of that. Okay, not bad. So Squashette should be just out of range. Yep, just out of range, good. Could have been really, really bad, though, depending on what ended up happening there. But I think we see an idea here. Because all I really need is to get on that side of the map. And actually, if I go over here, can I see a better example here? Well, technically, if I go into that very far corner there, I can still get my 100% bonus. Which may actually be a good thing. You know what? We're going to try and go for that, actually. Just because then we stay on high ground bonus. And the Squashette might decide to go down instead of going where we are. So we might be able to take full advantage of this. So I definitely say we could probably go for that. I'm going to say definitely set up a turbocharge, I think. In case, because we might be able to do some decent damage here. Because we're fully focused on this thing now. So, probably a really good idea if we do so. But how do we want to do it, though? I say definitely go for the sharpshooter now. Hopefully get a crit. That's the best possible case scenario. 185% crit. Cool, cool, cool. That's really, really good. Because the Scream definitely gave us that last bit that we needed. So that's very good to see. But let's see here. Well, I have an option of throwing another one of those blocks, I think. Yep, we do have enough. So let's definitely go for that, because no reason not to. Drop a little bit extra damage in. And I think back up just a slight bit, so we're just out of range of getting squished by the giant Squashette here. And a decent amount of crits there. Not bad. Okay, not bad, not bad. We're doing pretty good. And I think we can maybe... Well, we could jump on top of her, but I don't think that's really a good idea, to be perfectly fair. So I think we just go for the crit here, or just a blast in general. But not bad. I think we can go for a smash, maybe, in the next jump. And apparently we're just in range of that. And it could have been worse. Definitely could have been. But the deep freeze is definitely a better sight than anything really ranged. Because it could have been ranged if it really wanted to. And honestly, I have an idea here. We can definitely drop a Wild Claw right away. So let's spawn in our little buddy here, because he's going to have a nice fun time here in a second. So go away, but go right into there, buddy. And start having some fun, because we need that extra damage. Okay, well, first things first is we have a couple options here. But, well, I say we can definitely drop some Mecha Koopas first. So we should probably do that first, because we can still attack. But I'm going to say we'll bounce off of you first, Edge. And we're going to try and squash the Squashette, I think. Just because I'm curious. It does count. It does indeed count. Okay then, cool. I'm glad to see that, just because I was curious if that would work. 217 damage though, but it will come in handy here in a second. But that's a decent amount of damage. Now we'll back up just a slight bit. And obviously go for a Bazooka. 461 crit. I'll take it. And then I think we can just go for the final hit here. Yep, Sharpshooter. Down goes the giant Squashette. Tiny Dancer has now been completed. And we get another Golden Spark based off the last one. So, honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. And honestly, with another giant or Golden Spark, I'm honestly kind of curious if all the characters' Golden Spark areas are going to be the same. But I guess we'll find out here soon, because now we have it. The only thing is who do we want to unlock their Spark for? Because there's still options here. But I think we definitely set our team back to the way it was, now that we're ready to prepare going back to where we were just at. But I think we definitely keep the Wild Claw, I think that's definitely something we keep. And Bowser with the turbocharge was not that bad, for sure. But I'm definitely liking this Wild Claw Spark, as well as this Solar Genesis guy giving me extra HP. He's definitely pretty good. But Sparks, though. Sparks are definitely a good question. Well, Rosalina... Well, technically Rosalina is a character that you would think that Sparks would be good on, just based off the fact that... Oh, we got two of them, actually. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought we were only going to get one, but we got two. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for Rosalina first. Is it the same? It looks like it's the exact same. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So what characters would really like that? Well, Bowser could definitely use it, because Spark Branch, for him, could lead to him being able to use Turbocharge, as well as using the Mecha Koopas, as well as everything else in the same turn. So it could be pretty good on both of them, but now we actually have a full team with the Spark unlocked now, which is pretty good. So we can definitely use that to our advantage soon. But I definitely like having that, for sure. I will say that. That'll definitely come in handy. Let's grab our Spark Bits real quick, obviously. Might as well. No reason not to. And I think we head on out of here. And then, obviously, first things first is we need to, obviously, use the planet coin that we got to 100% complete good old Pristine Peaks here. Which, technically, we couldn't do until now. So, literally no reason not to grab it now. Ooh, hello, 80 coins for a POW block. I'm gonna take a couple of those, actually. I like cheaper POW blocks, that's for sure. Those are pretty good. But not bad. Not bad at all. And now if we actually check our progression, we should be able to get... Yep, there it is. Our gift for completing the world. So what would we get? Ooh, a Gleaming Kaboomer. I'll take it. That's Rabbid Rosalina's weapon, so... And actually is a pretty nice color. I like that. So they're all going to be white and gold. I'll definitely use that. Just because Rosalina didn't have an item yet. And that actually fits pretty good, honestly, I think. So we'll definitely use it. But let's see here. Captain Orion issued you this, along with a nod for bravery in battle, meritorious conduct, and superior penmanship. Penmanship? We haven't been, writing anything, but okay then. Sure. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Orion. We'll take your Gleaming Kaboomer if we'll be getting on out of here. But let's get on out of here, though, for sure. Because I think we're ready to head back to good old Palette Prime now. Now that Pristine Peaks is 100% done, now we just gotta start, figuring out what we really want to do over in Palette Prime, because we still have a lot of missions left to do. Also, we get an idea of Terra Flora now, since when you go inside the WM arc, it automatically opens up what the next world might look like. But it's definitely interesting, though, just based off what we can see. And it looks like there's still 2 Terra, crystals that we need for or not Terra crystals, but Dark Mass crystals that we need for each world still. But it does look like there is indeed one more world after, based off the fact that Dark Mass crystals lead us to world there, and what seems to be Cursa's compound is that last one, unless I'm wrong and it goes even further. But definitely interesting, though, based off of everything we've seen and everything we've done. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun. And there's no way around that one. I've definitely had a lot of fun with this. But I'm definitely curious on whatever that last world can be that is past Terra Flora, if that is indeed the last world before Cursa. Because, honestly, let's be honest here, we have no idea. But before we start on good old, just in general, good old Palette Prime, let's see how good old Woodrow's doing.
We are but weevils in the wheat.
I guess we are.
When tragedy strikes, it strikes not as a single bolt of lightning, but a storm. For how can Palette Prime, true loves, cherish the sunset together with our sweetie spy Honey Snookum's bridge torn asunder? Fine, sweet Lopek, He lives in the woods behind your star sloop's landing point. Make haste along the path there. Only he can fix the bridge and lift us from this quicksand of anguish.
Okay then. I think I understand that one without Genie. Sweet low pick area behind all spaceships landing zone. Have him fix the bridge. Got it. Okay, we can definitely do that. Well, thank you for the idea there. Good old Woodrow. So honestly, first things first is we have a couple options here. We have a lot of options. But I saw this one over here that had Bowser in it, and it could lead to a weapon. You never know. And also it gives us a little bit more interaction with Bowser and the other teammates, so it's definitely worth a check. So you know what? I think we'll do the Kid and the King first, just because that seems like a pretty interesting mission to start with. But let's see where it's at. It looks like it's over here. Yep, it's definitely over here. Oh, and the little ostrich guys that drop their heads in the regular Mario platformers. What's going on with you, buddy? Cursa's army has no appreciation for our quaint, old-fashioned small-town charm. Help us. We'll definitely try, buddy. But the Kid and the King, let's get on in there. Let's see what's gonna happen here.
Oh, no one puts delicious desserts in danger. While I'm around, I'll deal with this personally.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see you try it. But you are bad at this game, to be honest. The Disruptor is definitely pretty good, but it depends on how many enemies are on map. If Rabbid Luigi's really, really, really good or not.
We're not here for the pie, Rabbid Luigi. Thankfully, Bowser's itching for a fight too. Or at least he'll take it seriously. Though, Rabbid Luigi, if you're all really... You are any salted Honeycrisp fritters in there, please bring some back.
You can definitely try. But Bowser and Rabbid Luigi is an interesting combo. I'm wondering how this is gonna go. Just because of the... Oh, okay, yep. Rabbid Luigi's perfect for this map. That's for sure. Dark Mess Eyes are pretty easy. But our starting is a little odd. For sure. But not too bad. It's definitely not bad. But we need to figure out the sparks we want to use here. Because, I'm going to be honest, there's definitely things we probably want to swap out. Because I feel like Screech and maybe the Wild Claw would be pretty good here. Okay, I think we could work with this, for sure. Not a bad starting zone, though, but it could be better. Okay, well, first things first is we could go along the lines of doing something like that. But I do want to get rid of those Goombas on our own, to be fair. Just because that could be a better balance, I think, if we do it right. So I think we definitely make our way down first, and then go from there. But let's get everybody in a nice little zone, just to kind of figure out their first turn. But let's definitely set up turbocharge here, for sure. Because that's definitely a definite. And then we have an option here. We can either drop down immediately, or we can figure out what we want to do here first. Because we could definitely go something like that. I'm going to say let's spawn the... Well, the Wild Claw might mess up, actually. Let's move Bowser first, I think. So let's definitely squish these guys, I think. I think that's definitely the first thing, just to get them out of the range of everything. Because if we throw this and it messes up, it's going to be because of those enemies. So Disruptor, have a nice fun time. Because, let's be honest here, this is literally your best type of mission, honestly. Getting rid of these eyes. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. We have a couple options here. We can definitely blast at you. But I feel like there's definitely a different option here. I say definitely summoning the Wild Claw might be a smart idea now. Now that we don't have to worry about the Goombas, and the Wild Claw that's spawning up there probably might be better to deal with later, to be fair. I see an option of hitting you, but I don't have an option of hitting the Goombas, which is hitting the Goombas, we don't have the one to hit the Magician, though. I'm going to say definitely start dealing with the Goomba up there, just because that's 100% a knockout. Not bad. Okay, we can work with that. And turn. Let's see what the Wild Claw ends up wanting to do, because I don't know what the... Okay, well, Ow. Okay, well, that definitely did not work in the way that I thought it was, but it did bring us closer to the Wild Claw, so it may actually be pretty good, because now the Wild Claw is going to stay up there instead. Okay, well, our Wild Claw ended up getting completely decimated, but at the same time, we didn't actually take too much of a hit there, like we thought we were. So, in essence, that wasn't too bad. Although, what do we do here with our next turn here? That's the real question. Just because Wild Claw is definitely not going down in one hit, and that's a for sure. So, we have a couple options here. We definitely have a couple options. We could try and go for a bunch of these eyes at one turn, if possible. Although it doesn't look like it's going to be super easy to do so. And it may lead us to being whacked around a little bit, based on what I can see. But we could technically make everything run away from us, which may be a good idea. I think that's what we should do to start. So let's definitely go Whoop's Gotta Go first, to maybe push these enemies completely out of range a little bit. Because we can maybe throw our weapon a little bit safer. Also, that enemy really went far. Wow, okay. You didn't need to go that far, buddy, but okay. You could definitely do that. I don't mind it. But let's see if we can maybe do a decent amount of damage to... Well, I didn't get the Wild Claw, but I did get the Goombas there. Not too bad. Definitely could have been a better turn, to be completely fair and honest. But that might have helped us a little bit better on maybe dealing a little bit more damage to the other eyes over there. Kinda. Still don't like it, though. I'm gonna be honest, I still am not too sure about that positioning. And also, this guy is completely blocking Bowser from going through, to be honest. I don't think we can wiggle through there. But I think we can spawn a bunch of Rabbid Mecha Koopas on top of him and maybe blow him sky high. Because, let's be honest here, him being right there is kind of not what we need. Oh, okay, well that ended up pushing me. I'm very surprised about that one, just because I didn't think that would happen. But it pushed me into a better position. I will say that. I will definitely say that. But how do we do this? Couple options. But we definitely need to get rid of those Goombas, I think. Just because that is a good chunk of them. Also, getting rid of a couple eyes would probably be good too. It's not too bad. And then I think we definitely want to probably back up just a slight bit. Because I think as soon as we toss this... Well, it's not actually going to hit him. Okay, that's good. I think it's kind of iffy, though, on this next turn. Based on how far both allies are away from each other. But thankfully, for the most part, I think us taking a little bit of shock damage might not be too bad. Because it looks like they're going in between both allies there. Instead of, like, completely throwing 50 enemies at us, which is good. Because it could be much worse. I will be honest there. We could dash into you. You got a guardian thing on you, though. So you're going to completely block that damage. So not the best thing. There's not really a way to get Rabbid Luigi up here at the current moment. So I'm going to say what we do is probably move boost, I think, is probably the best thing. Honestly, I'm going to exhaust dash you, just because I want you to kind of stay away from me for a second. But getting us into a better position probably might do us some good. That does not look too bad, actually. I like the Disruptor bounce there. And I think we... Oh, we missed him completely, did we? Oops. Well, that did not work in the way I thought it was going to work. But we can still work with this. I think we definitely go like that to break your shield so you don't have it anymore. Then I think we try and drop right on top of one of these eyes, because it breaks it. So, definitely pretty good. Other than that, could go Regenesis here, which is an option. We need to get 3 more of the eyes left, though. One's behind us, and the last 2 are in front of us. So what we could do, per se, is... Actually, I cannot hit that at all. Okay. Well, we technically can. So let's definitely go straight for him. Because as long as we hit, it does damage, right? So it's definitely worth the effort. And then we go Regenesis, I think, just to get the last bit of HP we need. Because this will start healing us. So Bowser shouldn't go down. Or Rabbid Luigi if we're careful. And hopefully they don't pull up too many of their little tricks to spawn in any kinds of shields, because I don't know how commonly they do that. And also, those Goombas almost got to me. Okay then, well, that's pretty close. Pretty close indeed. But I say definitely get rid of you as a first stop. And then other than that, we could definitely just toss and run, which is still definitely a pretty good option. Don't have enough time to set in a disruptor. We can set in the disruptor, but I can't set in a wild claw like I would like to do. I don't like the idea of bringing him closer to me though. Eesh. Okay, well we're gonna do it. Don't want to do it though, just because it would be the last thing that I want to have running at me. Well, he's just out of range though, so this may actually work the way that I want it to. So it's not too bad. If I say we definitely jump on down here, wait, what? Okay, I don't know what happened there. I think I jumped on top of this brick for a second. I think that's what happened. The game was like, wait, I don't think this is how it's supposed to work. But I'm going to see if this works, because I'm curious, because this will have me learn about this later. Nope, they don't blow up on top of Dark Mess. That's good to know, though, because you never honestly know sometimes. They're pretty slow, though, when they walk, though, so it's better to spawn them on top of things, as what I can see. But definitely interesting, though, to know that we can't just do it like that, but blow this on up, and we are done and over with this mission. The Kid and the King, done and over with, just like so. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Although, very, like, everything was, like, right on top of this, though, to be fair. Steampunk Disruptor. That's a pretty cool looking skin. Might end up using that, if we ever need to pull out Rabbid Luigi in the near future. But the Kid and the King, down for the counts. As well as another good old, planet coin, too. Also, what's going on over here?
I wouldn't feel too bad for the farmer. He keeps trying to plant candy corn.
Okay then, but Rabbid Luigi, new little lore book unlocked. So let's see, Rabbid Luigi, an analysis of Rabbid Luigi's earlier adventures versus the Megabug reveal that he has matured much more since then, yet he clearly maintains a childlike role with the group. However, his relationship with the other heroes is as complementary as his naivete is a welcome breath of fresh air. Does he make me smile as well? I have not the anatomical capacity, but the emotion, yes, and I believe he does. Honestly, pretty cool. But still a lot of lore books here, but 3 of them are in the shop, to be fair. So we'll easily be able to find the rest of them, I think. Only thing is where do we go next? I think we could pick up this Medician hunt over here, just because that would be probably something good to pick up now, instead of later, just so we have it. Also, where is it? It looks like it's over here. Hello, buddy. Medicians everywhere help. Medicians, here in Palette Prime, do you know what this meat will do to our quaintness rating? Good question. Probably not good, though. Any chance you could get rid of at least 3 of these Medicians? They do the same to you. Trust me. Fair. We'll definitely prepare for that. There was a green coin mission. I'm thinking it's down here based on... It seems like it's somewhat in the range of where it was. I swear it was like over here though. Well, there's an opening over here. Oh, there's this guy again. We also got these toads over here for Fungi Frenzy. It looks like our eye is behind them. So if we want to get to the green coin mission, we have to deal with the toads here. Okay. Well, definitely a couple things we can do. I'm gonna say we should probably... Well, where does this lead, actually? Hello. We can jump down here. Is there any reason to do so? I don't really see one, but maybe there at least something. Might as well check. Looks like it probably just leads to the egg, based on positioning of everything. Pretty interesting. Also, it looks like we can maybe get over to this little dragon guy over here. Yeah, looks like you can't talk to him about it. Aw, I was kind of hoping that if we were able to get, like, right next to it, it would let us, but it looks like that's a complete no. Well, it was definitely worth trying, for sure. But let's see here. Good day, mates. You look keen and full of beans. You ready to for the Palette Prime Silly Fish Chuck Challenge? I guess we are. We haven't lost you yet, though, buddy.
The Pallet Prime, what now?
Chuck challenge. Chuck all the silly fish into the fountain before the time expires. Just 30 coins is your ticket to the rocket ride of hearts pounding adventure. That is the life of a pro fish chucker. Okay, we can definitely try this one. So is it a nah yeah or a yeah nah? No, it's a nah yeah, so let's do it. I knew you were a ripper. A little tip for you, try dashing the silly fish. It should make it easier to grab them. One more thing. Don't wander off too far or I'll have to disqualify you. No refunds. Okay, to Victor goes the spoils. To Victor goes the spoils indeed. But honestly, so far, it looks like we're definitely going to need to jump down here to get it started. But for the most part, these haven't been too hard yet. Also, apparently there was a silly fish even further out. Apparently. It's good we found him now, instead of finding him later. But it looks like we can actually get to them from down there, which is good. Because I was wondering about that little bit of just based on it being kind of a little bit closer to inland, if it was going to be hard to throw them in there. But it looks like, as long as we're like right next to it, we can. But it definitely seems like it's going to be a little bit harder to get all these ones in quick succession. So we need to be very, very fast, it looks like here. Just based on this one seeming a little bit harder when it comes to timing. And based on how big the area is too. But so far we already got 4 of them. So it doesn't look like we're in too bad of a problem yet. And it looks like they're spawning in a little bit faster too than they did before. So we should be pretty good, I think. But as long as we keep moving as fast as possible, I think we should be able to do this. Just because these haven't been too hard yet. And as long as I don't, like, slide into the water and completely mess up my movements, we should be pretty good, I think, for the most part. But we're already on 6. We got 6 seconds left. So maybe we can no, we're definitely not. Oh, what the? Okay then, that was weird. But challenge successful. Although, was that enough for a golden? Yep, it is. Cool. Aces, mate. Of course, nowhere near my personal record. Yeah, sure. We beat me every time. It's nice brass for a silver finish, though. Don't blow all this dosh in one go, eh? Here's a tip for you. To win gold, spoon with this silly fish at night while sleeping. Trust me. Okay. Okay, then. Well, I'll take your, planet coin. Well, it gave me that for getting silver, so do we ever need to get a gold? Because that gave me the planet coin anyways. Okay, then. Interesting. I thought we had to get that, but apparently not. That's odd. But I think because we're next to Fungi Frenzy here, I think that's more than likely the one we should go for next. Just based on the fact that, well, let's be honest here, there's a green corn. Why did I say corn? But green coin mission right next to us as well. So it's definitely worth going for. And also just to make sure we're running around his edge, because Edge is a little bit easier to maneuver than Bowser is. Let's make sure that we're Edge, because I'm just used to walking around his edge, to be fair. But Fungi Frenzy, I think we're definitely ready for you. But let's heal up first, before we get in there, just in case. You never know. You definitely never know. But not bad, though. Definitely. So far, this world's missions don't seem too hard yet. Because, well, that's a reach area. So Edge is definitely going to be the best one here for reaching that area. Although that is quite far away. Oh yeah, that is really, really far away. Okay, so we can't really run. Okay, well, good to know. Well, first things first is definitely making sure everybody is up in the next area. I think that's definitely a good way to start. So we start from here, which is not too bad. It's definitely something we can work with. I say, well, I actually just noticed we forgot to put Scream back onto Rosalina. Oops. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too much, because we do crit pretty well already, for the most part. So, I'm actually curious, isn't it like, I think it's like an 85% chance to crit, normally, with us. No, 80%, so we dropped 20%, which is still a decent amount lost. But maybe we can work with that. It's still not too bad. Although, is there a way to really get into position of any enemies from here? Doesn't really look like it. Okay. We'll try something. We'll definitely try to get at least a little bit closer. It's not going to be enough to get to an enemy, though. But it's something. If I was a little bit closer, we could have got to this Medician, though. But sadly, we were just out of range. Other than that, we technically could maybe push you closer. And maybe push you right into Edge. That's maybe an option. Let's see. Because it is a gust. Did a little bit. It just moved you a little bit, though. Not in any way that it would really affect us too much, though. So, yeah, could have been better. Could have been worse, though. But I'm going to say we'll probably have Bowser jump on top of this guy, I think. And try and go as far as we can with it, just in case. Just so we can get the extra dash in. And maybe, just maybe, looks like we might be able to get Rosalina up as well. If we do it right. But it looks like we're just out of range. Yeah, just out of range. So, could have been a little bit better there. But it's not too bad. We do have a way of maybe blasting around at that guy. But for the most part, it looks like we should probably go along the lines of making sure you're down for the count, I think. And we still got a bunch of crits there. I don't think we missed a crit there. So we did pretty good. I'm going to say definitely send in the Rabbid Mecha Koopas now. Because the enemies may or may not focus on those instead. So it's probably better to definitely spawn them in now. And then we'll figure out how enemies really react to them. Because it looks like they mostly run into them instead of just letting them do their own thing. So, not too bad. I'm going to say we probably turn ethereal now, though. Because I feel like being unseen and our current position may be the best thing. Then maybe, just maybe, find a way to do a little bit of something. It looks like we can maybe go for you. Which is not too bad. Could be better, but could be worse. But I think that's our turn right there. Because we got a decent range in. The enemies seem to be running away, though, for the most part. But guarding up. Which may or may not be a good or a bad thing, depending on how this next turn goes. Because Edge is definitely going to start running down there in a second. There is depleters, so it's good that we turn invisible before doing all that. And it looks like we can definitely break their shields early. But sadly, the Mecha Koopas are just right out of range of going for a full-scale blast on these enemies. Hopefully they don't block me, because I have a feeling they might be able to, based on how they're kind of positioning themselves at the current moment. Could be wrong, but I feel like it is. Well, let's definitely try and get Bowser and Edge a little bit closer, because they might have a little bit of something they can do here as long as we do it right. But I think about there seems about right. And then honestly, just see what we can do here. I don't think we can drop right on top of them, but it is maybe, yeah, we can definitely do it. Okay, cool. And then we can also dash into both of them, which is also an option. Not bad. Okay, let's make sure. Oh, wait a minute. I can pick you up. I did not know that was a thing. Okay, then. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Interesting. Huh. Very interesting. That doesn't waste one of my move counters either. You know what? We're taking you with me, I think. And honestly, I might try and toss this at you again, to be fair. So here we go. I hope you like it. And then we'll take this last one with us, I think. Actually, wait a minute. Ooh. That's actually interesting. I can actually put them down if I want to, too. That's also an option. Huh. Okay, then. I'll think about it. Let's put you down for a second, though. I'm going to vamp dash now, just so we can get the extra damage in. And then we'll try and figure out what we want to do. Because I feel like definitely starting up vamp dashes... Well, apparently I didn't do it exactly the way I wanted to. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Might be able to break the wall. Let's try pushing them into position here. First. Think of as long as I drop it on top of you. Yeah, like that. Now that they have taken a little bit of damage, we can maybe use that to our benefit. And maybe, just maybe, they'll run into where I need them to be. So let's see here. Hopefully they run into position. Well, they ran into me. Okay. Not what I was wanting. And that kind of messed up my positioning too. Thankfully I could still dash into you. Thankfully I could still dash into that guy. So we didn't lose our full movement there. Okay, not bad. I'm going to say, well, Bowser can't dash or jump at the current moment. So we can't go for that. We can't go for much here either. But what I can do, per se, is maybe, just maybe, go for the other guy. Just out of range. Unfortunate. Not too bad, though. I'm just saying what we can do. I say we could probably move booster and just go for the run, if I still have one. If I do, good. I was a little worried there, because the enemies ended up running into me. If they didn't, we would have done perfect on the positioning there. But we did get level 21, and all of our sparks can level up now. So that's pretty good. It's very, very good. And also, I think I can maybe drop my crit chance on Rabbid Rosalina now that that's done. Let's see what's going on with our Toad buddies. Thanks for the save. I need to get ready for Pristine Peaks, Hot Cocoa, and Fondue Expo. Phew. I guess puddles aren't just signs of drainage problems anymore. I guess so, buddies. But, I'm curious about something, though. About what I said before. I feel like, with the fact that we can change back into our sparks from before, with the Wild Claw and the, just in general for Scream, I'm wondering what our crit now is for Rosalina. Because now it's, okay, 30%. So what we could possibly do is drop some of the points that are on her crit ability, and maybe be able to put them into something else now. As long as we do it right, of course, but for the most part, that's definitely not bad, for sure, just based off the fact that we can definitely work with that, and maybe make something out of it. Only thing is how do we do it to how I want it to work, is the real question. So it looks like maybe I could drop 1. I could drop it down to 70 there, so I get 1 point back, pretty much, which isn't too bad. It's pretty good. We got 3 points now to spend on anything else, because now we're 100% because of the Scream Spark. So only 1 point is required here now. So not bad. We're 1 point off of getting Spark Energy, but maybe that's not required yet, because we can maybe put that into something else for the time being. Could do some other things too. Cooldowns could also be good. Because Wild Claws, we could spawn in multiple Wild Claws, that could be an option. I like that idea, for sure. That sounds pretty cool. I think we'll go with that for now, just with my last spark point there. It's definitely worth it, just for the time being. And then, other than that, for Bowser, we could increase our damage of our Mecha Koopas. Or, we could maybe wait. I'm gonna say maybe just giving him an extra glide boost could be pretty good for now. Because him being able to fly further to do his little smash ability might do him good, honestly. You never honestly know. Could be good, could be bad. It really just depends on how we drop and how it really works. Can I throw this from up here? Does not look like it. It was definitely worth a shot, though. But, definitely, we should probably get to that green coin mission just to get that one out of the way. Because that's going to be one we can easily do, and then we can maybe throw in one more mission after that, before we end off today's episode, because we can get a good chunk of them done here, if we do it right. Also, there's a square box that goes over into that position over there, which I don't see any square boxes anywhere, so very confused on that one, unless it's behind the green coin area, which it could possibly be, to be fair, but it seems like it's not, based on how this just opens up and back into here. Let's see our green coins. Looks like we don't need to go over the bridge to get these, which is good. Because they definitely could have done that to us if they really wanted to. And for the most part, these green coin ones are pretty easy. As long as you are, making sure you run directly towards them. Well, just like that. Another green coin mission done. As well as another planet coin acquired. We'll definitely take it. But there we go. A bunch of more coins, too. As well as a bunch of planet coins as well. So, We have a couple options here. Closing the gap. We have this one over here for the dark mess near the woodshed. Spellbound Gateway is probably one we should save. I'm going to say what I want to do is this one. This Pond Scum one we saw back in the Spellbound Woods. Just because it's been there for a while, and we probably should get to it, I think. I think that's probably a good one to end off today's episode on. And just because of the fact that, well, it's been here since literally day one of being inside the world of Palette Prime. So it's definitely worth going for our next one. And also it's pretty easy to get to, too. So, Pond Scum, here we come. Honestly, I'm kind of curious what we're going to find in here, to be honest, too. I feel like Ghost Walkers, just because of it being Spellbound Woods. But I could be wrong. Only thing is Spell Raisers, Depleters, Magicians. Looks like a Squashette and some Ghost Walkers, but it's a reach area level as well. Okay. Interesting. So far it does not look like it's going to be hard, but it could easily change, depending on how this map really wants to play, because sometimes, depending on what spawns later in, is what's really where you need to worry. Honestly, I'm feeling like dashing into the Squashette is not worth it yet. I feel like getting over there is probably more safe of an option. So putting you to sleep, I think, is the first thing we do. And then Bowser, you make your way on up, buddy. I think Bowser has a slight less of a movement than the other characters, I think. Based on his current, way of how he, moves, for the most part. I feel like, he definitely takes a little bit less, he gets a little bit less of a movement. Which is not a bad thing. It's definitely probably a good thing he can move less because of the fact of his, just in general, for how he works. It definitely feels like a character. If you were to give him any extra, he would take a mile to walk, or just in general, he'll take extra movement if he wants it. I think we could probably go for a move boost here, just because of the range that we got there. I thought we were going to get a little bit more. We could go Vamp Dash here, just to maybe get rid of the Ghost Walker and the Squashette, just because our current positioning might require it. And also doing extra little bit of damage also comes in handy. Okay, not bad, not bad. Pretty good turn for movement. Let's figure out where Rosalina might want to move. Because we could probably get rid of this enemy here, which is definitely probably worth it. Because it is asleep, so we do extra damage anyways. And then I think we spawn in the Wild Claw, I think. Just so we have our fourth ally on map. Gotta like that Wild Claw enemy, though. Just because, well, let's be honest, it definitely does come in handy. Okay, well, couple options here. I definitely say probably getting rid of Squashette here probably would be a smart option. I'm gonna be honest. Just based on the fact that that enemy might run me in if I let it. For the most part, I think... good question on this one. Because the thing is if I jump down here, we get jumped by the enemies. So I think just being closer to our allies for the most part would be a safer option for Edge here. The only thing is we're definitely going to get messed around with that ghostly walker that's still on the map. So I think just staying in a cover zone like this, we won't get pushed too far away if it decides to push us. Because it's definitely going to push us if it wants to. It went for Bowser, though. But it pushed Bowser really in a good position, though. So, we'll take it. We have a lot of health. So, if you want to try... Well, you pushed me back where I was anyways. Never mind. I was about to say, we were in a really, really good spot. Still a pretty good spot. But, yeah, it could have been better. I will admit that one. Just because it ended up not going the way that I thought it was for a second. But, definitely interesting, though. Just based on how that ended up working. But Bowser, I think it's your time to shine, buddy. Just because, honestly, you hitting the reach area would be pretty interesting, with you having less movement. So, you know what? Let's just drop on top of the Ghostly Walker, give him a blast, and send us into the past, I guess, into our completion for the level. Not bad. Pretty easy level. Surprised it was a level 21. That seemed simpler than, you know, it was 2 levels ahead of us before. Oh, apparently something spawned on top of us. Okay. I was about to say, like, it was like 2 levels underneath us before, but it didn't seem too hard, honestly, for the most part. Although, apparently something was directly beneath us, though, for somehow, I don't know how, but apparently there was something. Although it seems like most of the enemies here are... Oh, hello, buddy, right behind us. That's definitely something we'll go for. Okay, I think definitely... Well, I could have ran from this fight, but I haven't run from one of these yet, just to be honest. So no reason to do so. I do say if we do deal with these enemies, though, we definitely vamp dash with the turbocharge. Get rid of you instantly. And figure out how to deal with the rest of the enemies here. I'm going to say probably... I think I can maybe get on top of this area. Yep, we definitely can. Okay, get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of all the stooges, I think. And then I think we easily get rid of the Goombas in 1 turn. And that's quite a lot of enemies right away with Edge. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And honestly, Bowser with the Bowzooka should be able to get rid of these Goombas. I think it was a Goomba that jumped us, honestly. Because I didn't get to really see them, but we spawned right in the spot that they decided to do that on us, which was interesting. Very, very interesting. Didn't expect it either, just because of the fact that I thought we were safe. Because, you know, we just completed the level. So I didn't think we were going to just get flung into the air like that. But apparently something decided to... It seems like it was the Goomba that was over here. I guess that's where he spawns. Huh. Weird. That's a very weird... I don't even really know what happened there, to be honest. That was very weird. I will say that. But, with that being said, I think... Well, maybe we could do one more. You know what? I'll do an extra one. Just because what we could do is if we can finish at least one more level, I think we might be able to finish the rest of Palette Prime in tomorrow's episode, and then prepare us for the next World of Terra Flora. So, you know what? We'll do one more. We'll do the Paletteville flag over here, and get over to closing the gap. Because if we can prepare ourselves for Terra Flora a little bit earlier, that would be pretty nice. And I don't mind doing an extra level if I, you know, have a little bit extra time to do so. So, it definitely doesn't really bother me to do an extra one. Looks like that's the... Oh, wait a minute. That's the, what do you call it mission here? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we don't do that one then. Because closing gap is what would be like, the who you gonna call or the other mission. I'm trying to remember specifically. The Goomba with the pot on his head. So we should probably save that one for a different time. We'll do the other one then. Dark Mess near the Woodshed, I think would probably be an easier one to deal with. Just because, yeah, the ones like the Goomba with the pot on his head and the one with, who you gonna call, definitely were a little bit harder of a level. So, probably smarter to do that one at a later time. Just based on just how that one's gonna definitely work, because I remember how those are, they definitely do not go easy on you. Let's definitely make our way over here, because it's right over here, this next one. We also technically have this little puzzle here too, if we really wanted to do it. But I think I'll leave that to me doing an off episode maybe, just because the secret ones I usually kind of just leave outside of episode, just because they don't really point you to the direction of them in the game. Because sometimes you'll find them on your own, but for the most part, a lot of them are quite hidden, for the most part. It does go with the name, it being the secret missions, or secret hidden stuff, but Dark Mess near the Woodshed. And honestly, this one does not look too bad. The Wild Claws are a little worrying, but for the most part, I think we'll be pretty good with this. Just based on the fact that Wild Claw enemies are pretty simple, for the most part. Just based on how they work. So as long as we, you know, prepare ourselves for them, I think we should be perfectly fine. But I definitely say turbocharge. Literally can't forget to do it. It's kind of required to do so. Then I think we probably go for the Wild Claw, I think. I think that's definitely an option. Or we go for the Medicians. I think the Medicians, honestly. just based on the fact that they can survive past, like, doing a little bit of damage to them. They can heal each other and stuff like that. That's probably better to get rid of than any other enemy on the field. So let's definitely go Vamp Dash for sure, just for the extra damage. And we also got a Spark Energy back, so we still have a little bit extra we can go with here. I'm going to Vault over in case we get the extra damage to knock you out instantly. Almost. Almost. But not bad. That's definitely pretty good. And I think we can maybe... Can we do this? I'm curious. If I do this from a certain position, maybe we can hit both of them? We can hit both of them. Okay, so that's definitely an option. I say definitely do a little bit of damage to you first, before we do that. Because I think we might go ethereal here. Just because being invisible probably would do us some good. But I think we have to be off the cover in order to do it, right? Well, apparently not like that either. There we go, perfect. I just need to make sure we hit both those Medicians. Because as soon as they start healing, that's when things are going to get a little dicey. But I think we definitely turn invisible now, I think. And maybe get a Spark Point back. We did get a Spark Point. Okay, well, we'll set up Stormblade then. Not bad. That's a pretty good starting turn there, for sure. Definitely not bad. We pretty much got to do all our abilities in one turn, which is huge. But how do we do our next turn here? We could technically start... You know what? Actually, I have an idea. As long as I start, like, right over here-ish, and then spawn in our little guy here, our Wild Claw, I think we could start dealing with the Wild Claw in front of us. And maybe bring either, well, do a little bit of damage to him, while also, you know, preparing for him. Okay, not bad. He'll definitely start dealing with that enemy on his own. But now we need to help out Bowser a little bit. It looks like we could go right here-ish. Not too bad. I like the positioning. But we need to try and get as close as possible to the depleter to make this work. Oh, we dropped right on top of that. Oof. That was not the best thing, but could have been worse. Definitely. I don't want to spawn them over there, though. But let's see. If I position myself, like, here-ish... Nope, it still wants to spawn it like that. That's weird. Okay, well, let's try and spawn it, like, there, maybe. Because that might end up working. Because as long as we're standing here, it's either going to go to the Wild Claw instead. Well, well, there we go. I wanted to go for that guy, so that's good. So they're starting to go for, well, at least, you know, pushing the depleter out of range of being in a cover zone. So, it works out, I guess. Could have been better, but not too bad, I guess. I think we jumped down, though, for sure. And then, honestly, from here, we can easily go for a knockout on this good old Medician over here. So down you go. That's pretty good. I feel pretty good with that turn, because now the rest of the enemies are Wild Claws. And he ended up going for the, you know, the fake one. So that ends up working out pretty well. Ooh, got a crit on him, too. Can't see me, which is always good to see. Gotta love that. I definitely love that. Do a double dash into you. Drop you down to pretty much knockout zone. And definitely start dealing with this guy, I think. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad. This guy's basically still standing, though. Not sure how I feel about that, but I think putting you to sleep would be a good idea. Because then we can start dealing with these guys over here. We could dash into you again. Maybe. I'm going to say what we do is definitely probably make our way up here, maybe. And just in the spot of doing just a smash onto that guy. While also making our way right to a safety zone like here. Which is not too bad. Okay, not bad. For sure. I say what we should do, though, is probably POW block here. I'm gonna be honest, I think probably a POW block would be a smart idea. And actually, other than that, we could do a slight little flying blade into you. Maybe pull you, I'm not even sure if it will pull you, to be honest. Looks like a no. But good to know, though, for sure. But, Kaboomer might knock this guy out, but it might not as well. I guess we'll find out. It's 100% crit, so it did get him. Okay, good. It's a little worried there, to be honest. And I think we could probably Bazooka you just once. Just because you have to walk all the way around anyways. So, you don't really have a chance of getting to me, even if you wanted to. So, probably the best thing. Honestly, probably vaulting right back over and making you come back this way is probably smart as well. You choose whichever way you want to go to, bud, because... Oh, well, he made himself his own little way of getting back to us, but I don't think that's really going to work for him, to be fair. But dash to you again. Down goes the dark mist near the woodshed, and that's another mission for us. Not bad. We got a lot of missions done today, which I'm very happy about, just because, you know, getting rid of a lot of them in one episode is not bad whatsoever, and we could easily work with it. So, honestly, cool. I'll definitely take it, because now that we have done all that, well, let's be honest here, we could be getting a lot closer to our next adventure, just because Terra Flora is right around the corner now. We're definitely getting closer, just based on that. And also, it looks like there's a memory up here. Might as well grab it while we're here, and then we'll end off on that. Just because, well, might as well read it now, right? But Sweet Lopek, the Lumberjack. So we're getting to learn who Sweet Lopek is, before we meet him in the next one. So Sweet Lopek, the Lumberjack. Sweet Lopek is a lumberjack who lives near the Spellbound Woods on Pallet Prime, a most curious figure. Even for this planet, he lives alone, save for a live beaver he wears as if it were a hat. Being kept from using his beloved axe by mysterious forces working on behalf of Mother Nature has left him frustrated and discontent, but I believe there to be another reason: loneliness. Probably. But with that being said, thank y'all for watching today's episode. It's been a blast hanging out with you guys. It always is. With that being said, in the next episode we will be probably more than likely finishing up Pallet Prime in the next one and preparing for our next journey in Terra Flora. So with that being said, keep being spooky, and peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.